Colleen studied painting at Brigham Young University and the University of Utah and has taken several workshops over the years to hone her specialization in pastel. Colleen's work has received recognition in local and national competitions, and she is a signature member of the Pastel Society of America and American Women Artists. Featured in the Pastel Journal and the Artist magazine, you can find out more about Colleen's work and workshops at ColleenHowe.com. In this video workshop, Colleen demystifies the overwhelming range of color possibilities so that you can make the best color choices for vibrant, clean color with pastel.
Yellow is one of those colors that tends to get lost from a distance. So if I wanted to get a really bright yellow, I would want to start a little bit darker in an analogous kind of situation. So I'm kind of back in the yellow-orange area, and I'm going to work up analogously to get a nice bright yellow that will read from right across the room. So I'm trying to stay a little bit on the warm side. We could be pretending that we're showing some yellow flowers in this case. So I want to show you what happens if you have an underpainting, if you are just using pastel, or if you just put the straight color on the white paper, how different these saturations can look. And that's one of the ways of getting a really strong color in pastel, is to work analogously and gradually maybe use 2 or 3 pastels to get to the actual rich color that you want. Okay, so let's go into the front where the reds are. I want to start with kind of a violet, a bit of a red violet in this shape where the poppies are. Remember, that allows me to work analogously. So to make this kind of a violet, I've used ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson, which gives a nice clean violet color. I'm going to use that towards the bottom and the edges. And then as I come closer to this area here, where I want the eye to be looking, I will allow the red to get a little bit brighter. Still going to be a little bit darker than what I want, because I want to be able to build up on top of it. I don't want to leave any gaps, so I'm trying to close the edges and come right over them. All right, let's go into the ground and get that relating to everything. I want this to be our brightest area, so this part will be in a little bit of reserve and just a little bit darker than this strip that's passing behind the trees. So I'll start first with kind of a cool red, and things that work analogously tend to give us this gradual movement up towards something that is brighter and warmer, and that can be a really nice change. It's a really good idea to change temperatures within a shape. And so if I have a red shape and I'm using cool and warm, it becomes much more interesting than if I just go in here with one color of red. So I'm gradually allowing this to become a little bit warmer as it moves towards this green, and you can see it kind of sets up a vibration between these two colors because they're opposite on the color wheel. I will still make this a little bit brighter, but right now I'm just setting up. So I'm staying just a little bit darker than I want to. And my last shape is the green. I will use the one in the study and see how that works. Looks like it's going to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just flatly put that in. I'm going to come right up to where the flowers are. Kind of go over the edge of where the flowers are just a little bit to start coming inside. There will be green inside this red shape. I'll just suggest it just a little bit. Okay, now I've never been one to like a lot of stuff going on in the foreground area. I don't like a lot of activity. I'd rather pull you in to the middle ground. Once in a while I'll keep you in the foreground, but most of the time I'm going to take you back into the middle ground or the background. I think what I'll do is move into the sky. So let's reach into the colors here and kind of see what I've got. Now again, when I first put this on, I used the flat side. Now I'm changing to the tip. This allows me to put a little more pastel onto the paper. I can give a little more dimension, a little more texture. There are some occasions when I need to leave something flat, but a lot of the times I'll switch over and use the tip of the pastel, which allows me to have a little more expression with it. I can still go back and use the flat side if I want to, but the edge really helps me to establish value. If I leave space between the strokes, then I can come back in with a different kind of pastel and kind of weave in other colors. I want to start breaking into the edges of the trees just a little bit, giving them a bit of a different kind of dimension and shape. Tree edges are kind of a back and forth kind of thing between the sky and the tree. This is the lightest value that I have in the sky, so I can use it between trees, but if I come inside the tree itself, I'll need to go a little bit darker in the what's called the sky hole area. And so in that area, I need to find something a little bit darker and a little bit cooler because I'm going inside of a cool element. So I have to go just a little bit darker, and that may look a little bit exaggerated, but I kind of want to do that on purpose right now so that you can kind of see what that looks like.